What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another amazing episode of the Viall Files. I'm your host, Nick, and we got a doozy of an episode for you today. My dear friend and comedian and just all-around great gal, Nikki Glaser, is back with us. Nikki was one of the very first guests we ever had on the Viall Files, and since then she's been back for Ask Nick, she's been back for Bachelor Recaps, and she is back for just kind of a regular old interview and chit-chat.
Has she been in studio before?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never seen her in studio, so that was fun.
This was her third time in studio. Nikki and I just kind of shoot the shit, and boy, do we talk about some things. Yeah, Nikki really opened up. It was great. As always, Nikki doesn't disappoint with her hot takes and points of view, and there's nothing I appreciate better than someone with who likes to think about life and just kind of mix it up. She always gets me thinking.
She got us thinking. I'll tell you that much.
Agree or disagree, we always love to have Nikki on. Anyway, she's so great, and I'm sure she'll be back again. Join us next week for a really fun interview with a gal named Tinks. Many of you know her. She's blown up on TikTok and a little bit on the gram. Just another hysterical woman with some great takes on dating and one of the more fun conversations I've had. I mean, and I always I feel like I say that a lot, and thankful we have some great guests, to be honest. And then another one, if you're looking for a relatable, smart individual, you want to listen to Tinks. Also, I'm just jealous of the fact that she's given herself a one-word nickname that's stuck. So, that's great. Nikki Glaser, everybody. Hi,
Nikki.
Nick. So nice. I'm still getting used to this. Last time I did this setup, you were here, and then I wanted to try it again.
Yeah,
it's intense.
What do you mean? Like looking at each other from across the table? I mean, This is I feel like I'm on Rogan or Charlie Rose.
He does.
Yeah, it's very intimate. I mean, the only time you would sit across the table with someone like this is at a dinner. No one meets. Well, I guess getting coffee with a friend. I feel normal about it. It's not that intense. You got some hard-hitting questions for me or something?
Not maybe, probably.
But usually, I am sitting next to you usually in chairs like this, and so it's we can look away, and eye contact is weird. How are you with eye contact?
I could be better always.
I feel like now I'm too focused on it.
I'm as a heady overthinker guy.
Yes.
I do this kind of look up when I'm in my thoughts.
Yeah. Which way is the lying look?
Up and to the left, I think.
Where you're trying to search.
It's not. Well, that's the same as thinking, because it doesn't necessarily mean you're lying. I think it's an indication that you could be, because the truth should just be on the tip of your tongue, so to speak. And so if you're looking up and to the left, then you're thinking about an alternative answer rather than the truth.
Recently, not I would say within the past year, quit lying 100%. Not even white lies.
This was an active choice.
I read this book called Lying by Sam Harris, who is someone I admire a lot, and just a philosopher and thinker that is just hits me right, where I everything he says makes sense. And he wrote this whole book. Oh my God, he's brilliant.
Sam Harris.
I mean, Chrissy. You don't read the book Lying. It's very short. My ex-boyfriend gave it to me because I was constantly doing these white lies just to make him happy, and he caught me a lot, and he's like, you lie a lot.
I was thinking about people ask me why or how I'm good at relationship advice or whatever, and I was kind of thinking about okay, I guess I'm curious why I'm good. And then I thought to myself, I operate under the idea that everyone is the biggest liar they'll ever meet themselves, right? They lie to themselves a lot.
Yeah.
We'll never meet anyone who lies to us more than ourselves. And then you disagree?
I mean, I'm working on myself in a way that I don't even want to lie to myself anymore.
No, I know,
that's
but
my goal.
Usually,
but most people,
do.
Yes, we're living in denial, and we have a lot of
it's not a big deal. I don't care, or I do care.
Yes.
And
that.
And then I add it to the fact that and usually when people call in, or a friend, or someone, a stranger, will be I have this going on. They'll tell me their story, and I'm hearing what they're saying, but I'm paying attention for the things that they're doing that don't match to what they're saying.
Right.
They're just this happened and this and X, Y, and Z, and I did this and I said this, and I'm well, if you said and did this, and if you want this, then why are you doing that?
Right.
Right. And that's all I'm really
Where it's like
doing
you're-
is paying attention to the lies that they tell
intent.
themselves.
Yes. And oh my God, relationships, there's so many lies we tell ourselves constantly. And that's most of what relationship advice is just being like honest. You know, he's just not that into you. It's just the most honest thing. If we're always honest, like I don't lie about, or, you know, I try not to lie about anything. I'm not perfect about it. But let's say if I were to say, oh my God, Nick, I drank so much coffee yesterday. I had like 6 cups of coffee. And then I go, I actually had 4. I'm going to go, actually, Nick, I said 6 before to like make the story better. I had 4. Like I want to correct things like that. Like even I found out that doing comedy, the reason I'm good at comedy is because I'm good at telling the truth. So I can just like do that all the time. And lies have gotten me in so much trouble. And it's so easy to just be honest. Like when I can't do something, if I don't want to do, let's say I woke up this morning and I was like too depressed to do this podcast or something, like I was just in a bad state of mind. I just found something out. I would just tell you that. I'd be like, listen, I can't do the podcast because I'm too like I would be honest with you as opposed to being like, I'm sick, or I mean, I guess I could say I'm sick because that would fall under depression.
Sure.
But I try to find a way, not just semantically, to just not ever lie. And actually it's really great because now in relationships, when I like someone, I just like kind of tell them right away. Like I make it very clear I'm looking for a husband.
Do you feel more powerful now? Do you feel
I just feel like if you're
more
not
control?
on board, get out of here. Like, and I just know who I am, and I know I'm weird about some stuff, and I'm a lot in many ways, but I'm not trying to not be that anymore. I would like to slowly get better and be a better partner and better human, but the way I am now, I'm pretty damn good, and I don't have anything to be ashamed of. So if I'm like, I like you to a guy, like I'm not scared of rejection because I don't know. I guess I'm still a little scared, but like I recently told someone I love them, and I didn't even care if they loved me back because I was just like, I can just say my feelings. Like I can always be honest with my feelings, and men are like super horny for women's feelings most of the time.
Well, but like ever since, how long have you been doing this now, or attempting?
Probably about a year. Like
so do you feel more when you say to a guy, I love you, and you know whatever you feel is fine, because you're kind of like, I say this stuff all the time for people to do. Do you feel more empowered? Do you feel like...
I love it because it's honoring the thing that it's just honoring how you feel. And I think I've gotten so sad over the years because I've been told that I'm wrong for feeling the way I feel. But then I just realized like whatever I'm feeling isn't wrong. I'm not trying to hurt anyone from my feelings. And I can just say them. I can be honest about them. There's nothing shameful about my feelings. I mean, there's so much shame that I have, things I should be ashamed of. But I don't really hide anything anymore. And it felt freeing when I felt in love with someone and I was like, oh my God, this is a feeling like I want to tell them. And it wasn't to elicit it from him. It literally didn't matter if he said it or not. I didn't care. He did, but I didn't care.
That's great.
Yeah.
I wanna ask you, you just said that men are horny for girls' feelings.
Yeah.
Do you really feel that way?
Well, I talk about this book all the time, but there's a book called Getting To I Do, and it's the worst title for a book, but it just talks about if you want a commitment from a man, you have to learn the science behind sex and how it bonds us to men, and how we're yin and yang, and how there's masculine energy and there's feminine energy, and every relationship needs to have one, and they can change throughout the relationship, but then the other person needs to flip. So feminine energy is not like the greatest way to describe it because no man wants to be the feminine energy, even though there's many men that are that, but usually it's the woman role. And then there's the masculine energy. So the feminine energy only feels and like only expresses herself, or his self, but mostly this is women, with I feel. And the feminine energy person should never come from a place of I think or I think. So the masculine energy, you should never ask a man who's a masculine energy man, which most men are. I'm saying like 90% of men are. I'm in the 10% of women who are kind of a masculine energy woman. But most men are masculine energy. If you're trying to get a man, only come from a place of I feel. And you can be completely honest with him all the time about your feelings, but you can never say I think. And never ask him how he feels. Only ask him what he thinks, because one person is thinking, one person's feeling. In a relationship, you have to decide, do you want to be respected for your thoughts or cherished for your feelings? And if you want to be cherished for your feelings in a relationship, which is what I want in a relationship, because I'm respected for my thoughts everywhere I go, it's like I'm a comedian, so I get respect. when I go home, I just want to be like, I'm sad and like be nurtured. So that's, so now I just feel with men. I just tell men how I feel all the time. It's great.
According to this book, you can't flip like you.
Oh, you can flip and like in a different, like let's say, so when I a person like me, I'm not that this, I'm pretty much the same in bed too. I'm like more submissive and like more the feminine energy, like receiving. But some women are like very feeling in their relationship, and then they get in bed and then they're the dominant one, and then it flips and then the guy becomes that. But you can't have both energies. Like if a woman's
simultaneously,
yes,
in whatever situation,
it works. My friends who have just read this book and adopted it and been like, okay, I'm not going to ever tell this guy who's clearly masculine and I'm feminine energy what I think. And I'm only going to ask him what he thinks. And you just have to show men, like, the basic line is, it's a lot to get. You can't
ask them how they feel.
Don't ask them how they feel. And it's acknowledging
why
that
is that
men.
again? To explain that.
Because one energy, in a relationship, one person is respected for their thoughts and one person is cherished for their feelings. You cannot have both. If you want both things in a relationship, you're a narcissist and you're probably going to end up alone.
If you want both things?
If you want both things. Because you got to get that other thing met somewhere else, but not in your relationship. Someone needs to be the receiver and someone needs to be the giver. So this is
a moment-to-moment situational thing, not like overall?
No, it's pretty much overall. I mean, there's definitely times where it can completely switch, like I said, like the bedroom, where it's like role play, like the roles switch.
So if I'm definitely a thinker.
Yeah.
But I've noticed as I've gotten older, and I try to take my own advice, like when I'm trying to communicate how I feel about something, I will say, well, this is how it makes me feel. And it seems to be received. And that's because she
might be the masculine energy and you might be feminine energy.
But wait. No, she's definitely not the masculine energy.
But that's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying, I'm just trying to communicate to her. So right. She hears me when I tell her how I feel. I want to tell her what I think.
You should.
See, that's where I'm confused about it. Because if I tell her because you know how in a lot of relationships, if they haven't even read this book, you have a bunch of guys who are logical, problem solvers, right? Their girlfriend, wife, whatever, comes back from work and they're just like, this happened, right? And they're venting and the guy's like, all right, let's solve the problem. And they're like, shut the fuck up. I'm just telling you. Just cherish
listen. My feelings.
Yeah.
Don't try to. Yeah. So
what I'm saying is, and that's me, right? I make that mistake of doing that a lot. I'm like, oh, a problem. Great. Let's solve it, know? And they don't want to solve the problem. I'm just saying when I notice that I'm frustrated about something, instead of, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of trying to beat the system. Not beat the system. I guess I'm recognizing that feeling that she responds to feelings more than logic.
Oh, right. Because you're trying to talk her language.
Yes.
Almost.
Correct.
Yes.
So like, it's like,
That's
exactly. Like she doesn't speak English. She speaks German kind of thing. So I'm like, instead of trying to slow my English down, I just speak German, so to speak, if you're using that analogy. So like I will...
But she needs to get into her more feminine energy and it wouldn't, because you want to lead from a place of, I think it's complex, and I don't pretend to be an expert on this, but I just know that when two people are trying to do the same role of like, I think you should do this. And if you tell a man like, I think this, and they just like, their dick just like shrivels up. But if you're like, I feel like, you're really happiest when you do this. If you're just like gentle, the book is about being like a woman and nurturing and feminine. And it's a little bit like, oh God, I have to start wearing dresses and like being sexy. I mean, it's about that. Like if you want to get a masculine energy man, be feminine. It's a woman, Dr. Pat Allen.
Does she consider herself a feminist?
For sure. Oh my gosh. Yes. So this isn't it. I used to recoil at this book because all my friends read it and I used to be like, oh, you just act like a handmaid until he dies and then you can be yourself again. Like that was my joke for it, to trick a man into loving you. Yeah. Because I was like, okay, all my friends are now just being like, well, I don't want to tell you so can we maybe talk later about my feelings? Like you have to ask for permission later on. Like there's all these like weird things that make you feel like you're acquiescing to a man, but really what it is it's honoring yourself as a woman, as an emotional person who is honoring a man who cannot process emotions the same way and doesn't express himself in emotions the same way.
Figs. Yeah, you heard me talk about them because they're awesome. My girlfriend is currently at work and she's wearing them. She loves them. She keeps buying them. Need I say more? And actually, the one she just recently got, they've even stepped it up. They're really cool. So
Don't they have like a lot of pockets?
I need
so
to
she
up.
can, like, bring
I
all
need
the
to
stuff with her.
I need to up my Figs game because Natalie's upped hers. But anywho, Figs makes modern scrubs with a focus on design. I can vouch for that. Function and comfort. Figs' proprietary Phoenix fabric is ridiculously soft with 4-way stretch, moisturizing wick, anti-wrinkle. It makes it like great. That's for sure. Fion technology is their thing. It's innovative fabric technology from the fiber up. Get your Figs customized with text and icon embroidery as well. Huh.
Oh, you can customize her Figs.
The 100% awesome core scrubs include pants and tops that come in a rainbow of colors. I think Natalie's are like this kind of greenish turquoise with one of the 3 pockets for convenient access to everyday carry.
Ooh, pocket access.
If you're one of the awesome humans who work in healthcare, or you like me and just want to look like a doctor, Figs wants you to wear the scrubs you deserve and enjoy 15% off your first order. And if you are not working on the front lines, thank someone who is. With the best scrubs in the world, Figs will give you 15% off as well. Use code VIALL15, VIALL at checkout. Head to wearfigs.com, WEARFIGS.com, and enter my code VIALL15. That's VIALL15 at checkout. Get ready to love your scrubs. Well, we've all heard of detoxes, but you ever heard of detoxing your hair? I know I haven't. Not until I found Way. That's right, a wonderful shampoo that focuses on detoxing your hair because apparently that's a good thing.
Nick, you're growing your hair out with all those curls and you live in the city, so you've got like hard water. I bet you put product in it that builds up.
I put product in my hair and then, then I have the LA air just dirting up my hair and God only knows the things that Natalie puts in it while I'm sleeping. And thank God I have Way, a combination of apple cider vinegar and keratin exfoliates that balances your scalp plus smooths frizzes and creates a lustrous shine. My hair, I used Way and I thought, wow, my hair looks more lustrous. It had a lustrous shine. I can't even say.
I would hope it with the curls it looks less frizzy.
My hair gets frizzy, but not with Way.
Not with Way.
Infused with their dreamy signature Melrose Place fragrance with rose, bergamot, lychee, cedarwood, and white musk. Way was created by celebrity stylist, you know her, Jen Atkin. That's right, the one and only, to create the first socially connected hair care brand. Explore their full collection of cruelty, sulfate, and paraben-free hair care body fragrances and products. I'll tell you what, it sounds like a lot of stuff, but all I know is I used it and my hair felt luxurious and it was frizzy-free and it felt fuller. And I'll tell you what, as a guy, I appreciated that. When you're ready to undo some damage, hit the reset button with the Way Detox Shampoo. Go to theway.com. That's THEOUAI.com. I'll spell it again, THEOUAI.com. And use code VIALL to get 15% off your entire purchase.
So it just sets you up. I don't know exactly. I'm like talking in circles, but here's another thing that I learned from this book is that, and I want to know what your thoughts of this, and this is the most important part that's helped all my friends, is when you want a commitment with a person, when you're like determining like, I'm dating this guy who I'm sleeping with, which first of all, you shouldn't be sleeping with anyone who you want to be your boyfriend until they like agree to it.
In the book, or is this
big time.
It is.
Yeah. And it's like,
this book seems a little rigid.
It is, but it's not about being like, don't control them with your like your sex. Use that as like a tool to trick them. It is about honoring you, because women don't understand. Most women, and kind of some men bond through sex, but most women, you get so much oxytocin release when you have an orgasm with a man, especially if their penis is in you in any way, that you become chemically bonded to this guy. And the withdrawals last 2 years for a chemical bond like that. And men, it just doesn't happen that way. The amount of oxytocin for a man to orgasm is way less than the amount for a woman.
You could be hungover from a really good dick for 2 years.
2 years. That's why girls can't get over guys, because they are chemically bonded. So I don't sleep with guys because I don't want to do the drug. I'm not kidding you.
What's going on?
But why
It's true.
Why can't
There's withdrawal.
Why can't guys get over women? I mean,
because some of them chemically bond as well. But for women,
So
it
it's
is
just
way more likely to happen. And it happens fast, and that's why I do not let a penis in my vagina unless he is someone that I know is going to give me longevity, consistency, and commitment. Like I want someone who's like looking towards being with me for a very long time, will fuck me a lot, and is exclusive. Is
so
going to be only mine.
You won't sleep with them before now.
No, I will blow someone. I shouldn't even do that, to be honest with you, because it's still like a penis in you, and it's like. And I've fallen in love with people. Like, it's protecting you, because I haven't been able to get over guys I sleep with too early because I got addicted to them, because my fucking brain shot off a million different hormones that I've never had that influx, plus the smell of their neck, plus the way they touch you. I mean, all of these things are so physically bonding. Women have no idea the amount of addiction that it's literally addiction. You can get addicted to someone's like smells because you're smelling his neck when you're coming, and all this oxytocin shooting off. It's like doing a fucking whippet times 1,000. Like, it's the chemistry that's going on in your brain when you have an orgasm, when a man is inside you, is insane and makes you love them way sooner than if you didn't. Way sooner. So I have been able to, this person that I loved, I fell in love a month ago. I am not bonded to him as much because I didn't have sex with him. If I had sex with him as much as I wanted to, oh my God, did I want to? But I couldn't get a commitment and consistency and exclusivity, so I didn't do it. And I've never wanted to have sex so bad in my fucking life, but I didn't do it. And thank God I didn't, because when he didn't come through to be someone that I could be with, I haven't even cried. Like, I've cried a couple times just out of like, I'm so glad I loved someone, but I'm not even sad because I am not going through withdrawal as much. I mean, yes.
What happens? Because we've talked about this before, and it's a pretty common thing, but like the guys will want to have sex with a girl.
Yeah.
And they have genuine intentions, have sex with a girl, and then reevaluate how they feel about the sex.
No,
afterwards.
You know when sex is going to be good. Okay, listen, I'm talking about, this is when you're fooling around with a guy.
You're telling
for long enough that you're making out, you spend, okay, so let me give you an example. So this guy that I was like seeing, like very intense.
So you've been, like, you got, the only thing you didn't do was sex.
Yeah.
So you guys know
I ate
each
his
other.
ass for like hours. No, I'm just kidding. No.
You guys know what?
I did not.
You guys know what you guys look like naked
Saving
and
that
things
for
like
marriage.
that?
Yes, everything.
There's
Like
a t-shirt.
Everything could have happened. I mean, there is
on
no
board
doubt
there.
that the sex will be incredible and maybe the best. Like, I can't even believe it will be so good when he finally, if we ever do have sex, it will be the best moment of my life. But I'm so glad I saved it.
Are you not bonding chemically if
You
you're
are.
orgasming other ways?
Oh yeah, you are. That's why I only like made him as soon as I knew it wasn't gonna work out, I was like, okay, I can't blow you I will not like let you in. I will not pleasure you anymore to orgasm. No way. You can finger me all you want, but like, you're not going down on me anymore. You can finger me and I can like kind of treat you as like a separate thing. And then I think I told him he could like jerk off next to me, but he can't associate like my body with like, you don't get that anymore. And I don't want, because the thing is, once they fuck you, this has happened. First of all, this is not just to protect my heart because of the chemical addiction, which I just learned about. I was doing this before because I felt like as soon as a guy had sex with me, it was like, okay, I did it. And then there's just a mood shift. There's a mood shift after they come. Frankly,
Yeah,
but like
you're not
when
wrong.
a guy has sex with you, I have been rejected by men who I thought were a sure thing so many times after sex, where there's just like this.
And this is like a first date hookup?
No, this is like been hanging out a while, finally have sex. I've had guys go, Nikki, you're my girlfriend. Okay, let's just have sex. And I go, okay. Never accept that right when they're horny. They have to promise you commitment and all that stuff like outside of the bedroom. So I've jumped into bed with guys that have literally been like, this happened before. This happened before with you, guy I dated 5 years before. As soon as we had sex, you didn't like me anymore. And he's like, I'm not that way anymore. And I really want to do this. I want to commit and have sex. I swear to God, he's holding me afterwards. And I go, how are you feeling? And he goes,
What's right afterwards?
Like right after we had sex.
Like moments later.
Holding me right afterwards, like, spooning in bed. And he goes,
It's a bad time to have that conversation.
well, like, I wanted to check in because he was like, he was worried about, like, we were both worried. I go, so I almost said it facetiously because in 5 years prior, we had joked, like, after we had sex, went from, like, loving me to being, like, treating me like a bro that he wanted to get out, like his, second cousin staying at his place, like, wanted me to leave. So we joked about that, and he goes, that's not going to happen again. Like, we're, like, falling in love. We're laying in bed. He's holding me, and I go, how you feeling? Like, kind of almost joking because it was good sex or whatever. And he's like, honestly, I'm just feeling like this may have happened too soon. Like, he fucking...
But he begged to have sex.
Was begging.
How mad? Like,
I was so sad. He just stopped talking to me, and I, like, was falling in love with this guy and thought he was going to be my boyfriend.
This is different than the recent.
Different guy. Yeah, this was years and years ago. So I have been fooled by this, like... just having sex for me has never I've never convinced a guy to like me by having sex with them, even though you think that's what they want because they're begging you. It's never going to work.
Summer is here, and if you haven't met your fitness goals, now is a pretty good time to get going because you'll probably be putting on that swimsuit or taking off that shirt, and whatever your fitness goals are, make them possible with Beachbody. Beachbody On Demand offers over 1,500 at-home workouts plus nutritional plans, so no matter what your goals are, there is a program that will help you build and keep your healthy habits. History of success, that's right. You've heard of P90X or Insanity or 21 Day Fix. Now check out some of Beachbody's newest programs like Muscle Burns Fat and 80-Day Obsession. Some of the best trainers in the world like Tony Horton, Joel Freeman, and Autumn Calabrese. And the best part is you can do it right from the comfort of your home on a phone or a tablet, your computer, whatever. It's so easy. Just a short 10 minutes a day for some workouts. You don't have to drive anywhere. You can get it done. Meeting your fitness goals have never been easier. It's the best deal in fitness, and right now, listeners of the Viall Files can try it absolutely free. I use Beachbody all the time. I have done P90X. I've done Insanity. I've done 21 Day Fix, and it's great. To get a special free trial, no obligation membership, text VIALL to 303030. That's text VIALL to 303030. You'll get full access to their entire platform. All the workouts, nutrition information, and support absolutely free. Text VIALL to 303030 and meet those goals. Most other joggers are too techy or too sporty, not good for casual situations. And let's be honest, while we all like to work out, we are putting on our comfortable joggers more often when we just want to lay around the house and be casual, maybe go grocery shopping or, hit up that, like, Target or, walk your dog.
Hit up that Target.
Hit up that Target and look good doing it.
That's fancy shopping here in Montana.
That's why you have to check out Public Rec. They make leisure wear in waist and inseam sizes because comfort starts with a better fit. The all-day jogger is the first of its kind. Technical pant available in waist and inseam sizes. This means women can shop based on their unique proportions. No more settling for small, medium, and large. Chrissy, it sounds like you have something to say on this topic.
Well, I like that they have the different sizes and they do it by waist and inseam because the pair of joggers I got fit me perfectly.
It says here
and
they have...
being a girl of a certain size, you can't find what you need for your body that fits properly all the time.
Size,
and this is amazing.
If I can just professionally say that. It says here they have 30 combination sizes and 4 different length options. That's just nuts. Need I say more? Well, I will. Made with a breathable, stretchy, moisture-wicking fabric. Well, we have 2 moisture-wicking fabric options. Natalie loves her jogger. So does Chrissy. All the ladies on this team, they don't shut up about it. As the world's opening back up, make sure you've got clothes that are as flexible as your life is. Public Rec rarely discounts, but right now they have an exclusive offer for Viall Files listeners. Go to publicrec.com/Nick and use our code Nick to receive 10% off. That's publicrec.com/NICK and use promo code Nick for 10% off.
I honestly think that having sex is, like, so special that I only want to do it with someone who loves me. Like, I don't, or I want to do it with someone super hot that I can scratch off the list.
Begging for sex, well, that's clearly what he's focused on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be, like, dating someone and going out and going to the movies and talking. And I'm sure as a guy, you want to have sex. But if it gets to the point where he's like, come on, why don't we have, like,
I think
it sounded like he was. Sure, it's hot, but what I'm saying is, see, that's what he's focused on, right? You know what he's focused on.
Yes.
It's like the whole thing of, like, what people say they want, right, versus what they're actually showing. But like a guy who's just like, oh, I want to be your boyfriend. I want this, right? And he says that, and everything else is Can we have sex? Can we have sex?
But it wasn't that. It was spending time on it was like doing girlfriend stuff. I mean, this guy and I would talk on the phone constantly. We didn't even talk about sex. But then when we got in the bedroom, it became that. And then you're horny, I'm horny. I'm like, this guy is my boyfriend. He said it before. Let's just do it. Like,
so how long are you waiting now?
Until they're someone that wants to be my boyfriend. And
But he was your boyfriend.
No, I know, but I'll wait now until that guy jumped. I was younger, so I just didn't know that all the warning signs that were there that told me this guy wasn't ready. But now I'm gonna wait, and I might not get it right, but I'm definitely gonna wait until I'm like, oh my God, let's consummate. We're like boyfriend and girlfriend. Let's like go have sex like boyfriend and girlfriends do. Like, that's so fun. Like, I want it to be like a special event now. I could have sex with someone who I like don't look at as husband material. I might bond to them, but I'm not gonna be falling in love. Like, it might bond to them a little bit. So you're like you're backpacking in Europe and you see a guy who you're like, I'm not into it, but you're like, or an ex, a good lay. That I'm just like, wait, you could have sex with an ex? Yes, if you really are over them, you can have sex with an ex. This is like, this is all the book, by the way.
No.
This is in the book?
Yeah.
I don't know if I gotta read this book.
I really want you to read this book.
There's holes in this book.
Nick, I really want you to read it. It's called Getting to I Do, and I know everyone's rolling their eyes at the title. It's terrible, but it just teaches you so much about your psychology and sociology of men and women relationships and pretty much any homosexual relationships too. It's always a yin and a yang.
I like that, right? I like understanding where you stand.
Yes.
What I don't like, and I have to read this book, is that I don't like a structured, like I don't like rules. A set playbook of like, here's how you like get the husband and never do this and always do this. It's like it's all situational.
I promise you this isn't like the rules, like those rules that came out in the 90s where the women are like, never call him back, never do. Like, there's things that you'll find through this book that you're like, oh, that works for me, that doesn't. But it all is just steering you to cherish yourself and honor yourself as a woman and respect a man for doing the ultimate sacrifice, which is giving up other pussy for you. Like, we women act like, I want a commitment. Like, it's no big deal. It's no big deal to us because we like commitment. We like monogamy. We are drawn to it. Not all women, but most of them. When a man decides to fuck you for maybe ever a commitment, like when a man goes, I'm going to, for the foreseeable future, only fuck you and not pursue other women, that is a huge sacrifice that we do not give enough. It is, because biologically men are... It is. Hold on. I'm not being hyperbolic here. Men are meant to fuck everything. Okay?
Are we not sacrificing by like giving up dick?
No, because we are, most women don't, because we're not craving new dick constantly. Men are craving new pussy. No matter what they tell you, they will crave new pussy. So for them to go, I care about this woman enough that I'm not going to pursue other pussy and like go against my biological nature, we have to fucking give respect to that and be very like you have to acknowledge that's a sacrifice, and it's bigger than the sacrifice you're giving.
Chrissy, I mean,
I'm sorry if this is not feminist,
as a guy, I will recognize. I agree with you that
it's big.
Men, you can be in love and still be like, I mean, objectively, I see this hot girl and it would be fun to see her naked, kind of thing,
yes.
right? Like as a guy, you
know
can't.
That.
But Chrissy, are you saying you disagree with Nikki's premise about? New dick's not necessarily the adventure that
Chrissy,
a new naked woman might be for a guy?
when you've fallen in love, you can't, and you're getting fucked out, you're getting banged out by a guy that you love on the reg. Are you looking at guys at the gym and going, that guy's hot? Of course you can say that guy's hot, but are you actually craving their penis inside you in a way that you're like, man, I wish John wasn't in my life so I could fuck that? No, you're not.
So are we arguing over craving?
I'm arguing over the fact that men, when they are in they don't want to be monogamous. Men, it's against their nature. They want to go fuck everything to spread their seed.
So are being like, that pussy's hot, I want to fuck it, even though I've.
What
got
do you mean
Nikki
by wanting to be monogamous?
And a girl will be like, oh no, I don't need to fuck that hot guy.
I can acknowledge he's hot.
I got a guy who loves me at home.
No, I'm just saying women are different. And I'm not speaking for every woman. Please do not DM me and be like, I'm a woman who loves to fuck all the time. But when I'm in a relationship, I love sex. So I'm like a sex addict almost, but I don't really care about other men when I'm really feeling my emotional needs and my sexual needs met by a man I love. I don't even see other men. And I feel like a lot of women will
agree with
me. And I know that men are like that sometimes in the beginning of a relationship when it's super intense. You like maybe don't see other women, but it's not as much. And men always want to fuck other women. If you think your man doesn't look at hot girls and he doesn't check out girls and he doesn't think about fucking another girl, maybe when he's in the shower and jerking off, or maybe when he's inside you, sometimes he'll think about someone he saw earlier. You're fucking insane. He definitely does, and it's okay. But we have to really, I think it's like really special that a man is willing to give up fucking other girls for me for the rest of my life. And I will do whatever it takes to like make him feel like thank you for that sacrifice, because I know it's not your general nature. But I also will say that I don't mind if my boyfriend like gets a blowjob from a random girl, if he's on location somewhere, or if he's like on a bachelor party and there's some girl at a bar who thinks he's super hot and she's just some floozy in Austin at a bar and he doesn't live in Austin. I don't care if you get a blowjob. That sounds fun. Tell me about it later. I hope she's so hot. I hope she's like
your
out
boyfriend.
Of your league. Yeah, my boyfriend or my husband.
Does he have to let you know first?
I mean, no. Before we go on the trip, I'll go, listen, you want to do something this weekend, that's fine. Don't give me any disease. Be safe about it. But like, if you want to get your dick sucked by
girls. Is this new Nikki?
No, this has been Nikki for years and years. And no one believes me about this. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I don't think there's anything wrong with you.
And men don't even like it. I'm not trying to be like a cool girl to get a guy. I'm telling you, no men even want this, but I get really turned on when my boyfriend, someone I feel very secure with and in love with, like when a girl wants to blow him or something. I don't necessarily want him to have sex with another girl because a girl will get attached.
So does Nick.
But I like it because I'm like, oh, my boyfriend's attractive.
Yeah.
He's like definitely like girls want him. And guess what? I have never once in my life heard of a guy getting a blowjob in a bar from some girl he met at the bar who's just like kind of drunk and like, I want to blow someone that knows he has a girlfriend. I don't want to deceive this girl into thinking she's going to get in a relationship, but it's like a bachelor party. He's at a bar in Austin. A girl is all over him. She's super hot. He's like texting me like how hot this girl is. Get a blowjob, because I've never once heard a guy getting a blowjob and being like, I need to marry you and leave my girlfriend. Like, that's never happened. He's just going to get a blowjob and go.
You just don't want him to leave.
What do you mean, leave?
Well, I mean, like, I don't think you're crazy. I think it's an interesting conversation.
I just don't think
what
that
about making out?
That's fine too. But making out's kind of intimate. I would rather like he either like get a blowjob, a hand job, or like finger her, or like do
Wait,
or
he
make
can finger her.
Yeah,
and
make her
out.
come. Yeah, I would love that,
then
because
kiss 'em.
usually the guys I'm dating are really good at fucking, and I want to like, oh my god, I'm so glad that girl like had it. Like one time my ex-boyfriend hooked up with this
Very
girl,
pretty woman,
and she was like, so she like came a lot or what, like I forget, he like fingered her or something, and she was just like, he told me later on she was just like kind of she was like dizzy. She was like, what the fuck was that? And I was like, yes, I love that, like you made a girl feel that good, and like, whoa, that could be done. That's nice to know.
Yeah,
and it's like, it just is, and it's hot to me.
But you're not but like I think this can all work, right? But it has, like, I feel like you have to like have really good communication.
Yeah, so no sex, no obviously penis and vagina sex, nothing that.
But
nothing
like, are
that's
you?
Gonna,
but like, so your guy, your boyfriend,
and I don't.
goes to a bachelor party.
Yeah.
Are you like asking questions, or you just trust him that he?
No, I'll ask questions when we start hooking up when he gets back. Like when this happened with my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend. So he went on a bachelor party in Austin, and before he left, he was like, "Listen, I know we've talked about this before." Because I've always been like, oh my God, like when we were together, we were never apart. Like we were working on a show together. We lived together. There was no chance for him to like have a flirtation with a girl, you know, like even though that's something I would have been into, and we used to talk about it all the time in bed. Like our foreplay used to be me being like, tell me about the time you hooked up with a girl, like all of his before stories before we hooked up. And I was like, oh my God, so horny for like just him telling me like being intimate with other girls. It didn't make me jealous. It made me like, oh my God, like so turned on by him. So then when he was going on this trip, he was like, hey, I know we've talked about it before, but like, I don't have a lot of opportunities. I don't like drink. I don't go to bars. We're going to go to bars. If something were to happen with another girl, it would be this weekend. And I was like, okay, like, I think I can handle it. I was like, no sex, but like, use your discretion and just tell me about it when you get back. And so like, he went on the trip. We texted like normal. And this is just for me. This isn't for, this is the way we worked it out. And then we met up after that, and we were meeting in San Francisco, and we both knew he was coming off this trip. And I was like, I wonder if he's done anything. But we had the whole day with our friends, just like going to lunch and like talking about the trip. And then the second we got back to the hotel, we started hooking up. And then he's like, do you want to hear what happened? I'm like, fuck yes, I do. I've been waiting all day. And then that's when he told me, and it was like our foreplay. And then it was so hot. And then we just like had the best sex ever because it was about
what did you feel?
Him. I felt I just felt like, oh my gosh, my boyfriend is like attractive to other women. Like I'm so excited. I get to have this man loves me that other women want, but he's mine.
There wasn't any jealousy?
No, none.
And I don't mean like in a bad
I get
thing,
jealous though. There's times
because I
do
feel
get
like in
jealous.
those situations,
but not that.
It's all about controlling your feelings, right?
Yeah, I don't have to even do that. I don't get jealous at all.
I mean, because to me, I feel like part of that,
even if she was hotter than me, I don't care.
But I feel like part of the excitement of that is having this layer of trust. You know, these boundaries that he's, no sex. He's telling you, he's communicating. And then like however you feel is how you feel, right? Mm-hmm. And that those, you don't know how you're gonna feel. Yeah. It's very scary. The first time I did this, a very alive
terrified.
feeling. You're just like, I feel a lot, and I'm like, I'm probably even mad. I'm not mad at you because I know we had our rules, but I feel a certain way.
I'll tell you when it did. That time did not bug me. The time it did bug me was when we were first venturing into it, and he ran into a girl that he had worked with on the street. And or on the train or something. And she was like, you should come up and see my new place. And he was like, I bet Nikki would like whatever's going on here. Like this girl's giving me a vibe. I used to work with her. I can't wait to tell Nikki about this. Which there's one thing about this though, that I love is my ex was very weirded out by this whole thing, was just like, you want me to like flirt with girls and have like, and I'm like, I don't know. I think I like it. Like you're out of stories to tell from your past. You got to make new ones. And so he goes, the cool thing about it is if I were to be cheating on you, you would not be in my head at all while I was doing something with another girl. But the fact that I know I'm going to get to tell you about it and you're going to be turned on by this, I'm thinking about you the entire time I'm with this girl. And it's like, that's a win for me.
Well, exactly. Because it makes the situation all about your partner.
About me. I'm in control.
Yes.
And
the whole reason for doing it is for you or for them.
And if she's better at sex than I am, or he feels a connection with her that is like, I love this girl, then go be with her. I honestly can't control that. I can't control anything. All I know is it turns me on, and I actually acknowledge that maybe I can't be every woman for a man, and that I maybe want him to have an experience with a girl with a fucking huge ass. Like I have a flat ass. Like I want guys to tell me about a girl with huge fake tits, or like I can't be every woman. Like that's exciting. So what did this happen with this girl? This is the first time it ever happened, and this is where I got jealous. She goes, come up to my apartment. He's going, oh, Nikki will like this. Like this girl wants to get me alone. They go up to the apartment, and he's like sitting on her counter, and she's like, no, she's sitting on her counter, and he kind of just like was looking at a cabinet. And he said he got like close enough that like they could have kissed, but he was kind of just like, they were just, it was in a way that it could have been intimate. And then she went in for it, and she was like, I want to, but there was something about the way he didn't tell her that I was okay with it. And so I felt like he goes, I want to so bad, but I can't. He was like he wasn't honest about it because he was clunky.
You want him to.
Yeah, well, I don't want a girl to ever be deceived. One time he was about to get a blowjob from a girl that he had passed with, and I was like, go do it. And he goes, if I write her back right now, I'm like leaving her. We just had dinner at this hotel. If I write her back, I'm going to go get a blowjob. There's no turning back. I'm not going to He goes, this is do or die. And I was like, do it. And I go, wait, hold on, wait. I go, does she really like you? Like, does she think that she would like maybe want to be you?
Sure.
And he goes, yeah. And I go, then don't do it. Let's not do this, because I don't want her to think that she has a chance with you, because that's not what this is and not what I want out of this. So I understand that. But this girl that he went up and like talked to about her cabinets, I remember being very jealous, because I was like, this girl thinks that he was so attracted to her. He was like, I have a girl. Like there was something that left that girl. I wasn't in control. It became about them. And maybe her being like, oh my God, I got this guy with a girlfriend to like almost kiss me. And then it took the control out of that's when I got jealous.
That's what I'm saying. It's all about.
It's control for sure.
Yeah.
It is.
But
I can't help that I'm very horny for it. And like it's not something that I'm like, I'm not enough of a woman. My boyfriend has to. I'm not like cuckolded. Like I can't. I'm just like, it's actually hot to me.
What about happy endings in massage parlors?
Yeah, that's fine.
It's fine.
Well, actually, no. If it's
like if you're
no,
so you're
because
dating a guy
that's sex work from like sex slaves. I don't like that. But if you've gone to an escort before, I don't mind. But you shouldn't have to go to an escort if you're. I don't know. I mean, it's fine if you really are like craving.
Well, to your point, that actually takes all of the excitement that you get out of it away, because
the girl's being paid to have to fuck you.
Yeah, there's no
and
power.
It's
more like he's kind of lazy and just like rub my dick.
Yes. I will definitely date a guy that's gone to escorts before, and I have no problem with that.
But in a relationship.
But in a
relationship, he goes down
to
Mexico.
No.
Gets a massage. massage person's like,
Yeah, well, and she like
she's
tries
like,
to
hey,
give
do you want the whole happy
and
ending?
if he wants it, yeah, just tell me about it. Like I wouldn't mind it at all. No. I just think it's like, I think for men, and I think for women even, like I think I could get fingered and not like feel anything for the guy after. And I just don't think that it would jeopardize my relationship to be fingered by a guy. If a guy like,
so cheating really comes
so
down.
confused.
Cheating comes down to honesty.
yeah, and I think, yes, it does. It comes down to just be honest. And
I
if
have
I'm in a
friends-
relationship with a guy who falls for another girl and has a crush on a girl he works with, or something like, he's like, I've got a crush. Tell me. Let's talk about it, because if you're willing to have a crush on a girl, I got to figure out what I'm not providing for you in this relationship that makes you think it's okay that you can start having a funny, flirty, emotionally fraught, connection with someone. I want you to be honest before, because I think the dishonesty when you go, oh, it's just a crush. I don't need to tell my girlfriend about like this fact that I have a crush on this girl at work. Like it feels weird. She'll probably get mad at me. What that happens then is that you start resenting your girlfriend because you can't act on this crush, instead of just breaking the tension and being like, babe, I don't know what's going on. There's this new girl at work and I'm fucking turned on.
And
Well,
most
it takes
people
a
aren't there.
secure woman and it takes a secure man to know.
Yeah, it's not just men. It's both. Like
It's
you both
both,
have to
yeah.
be on the same page.
And I know that this doesn't work for me, by the way. There aren't men that actually, like I'm single and I and I want a husband. So I know all these rules and stuff, but this is all, I want everyone to know I'm single and I don't know what I'm doing. But that's what I would like, is like that kind of relationship with that kind of brutal honesty.
Yeah, I mean, I totally get it. But I know guys who, they'll be like, well, this is what I think is cheating, and I don't think this is cheating. And,
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, none of that matters until you're dating someone, and what they think
Yes.
matters. Like,
It's not
you have all these things that
legal,
you
yeah.
are into or not into, and you wouldn't mind. But if you fall in love with a guy who's just like, I don't want to do any of that, and I don't want you to do any of that.
Right.
And you're like, well, I disagree. I'm into this.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's a
you kind of agree to
lifestyle.
disagree lifestyle-wise, but like if you go and still do the thing that you want to do, even though he's not okay with it, like
then you're a
and you
bad
lie
person.
about it, yeah.
Then you're lying.
Because I know guys who will just be like, well, I don't think it's cheating, so therefore I'll do it, and I won't.
And she doesn't have to know. Well, you have
She
to
doesn't
live
have
with
to
the
know.
lie
And
the
I'm like,
rest
well,
of your fucking life.
Well, then you're a liar, and by definition, that is cheating. Lying is cheating.
This different area codes, like what she doesn't know won't hurt her. It's like, it's gonna hurt you. This thing that you can't be completely honest. And I understand, like, we don't need to tell everything if it's going to be just, make the person even suffer more to hear, to show all the text exchanges if you get caught cheating, like, come out with everything. But I think that just transparency from the very start of a little interest in someone else, it brings up, if you're wanting to cheat emotionally with someone else or even physically, it's either because you've been away from the person for too long and you're not having your sexual needs met. You're like in a different city, so that's understandable. Or you're not having enough sex in your relationship. There's something that needs to be remedied. And it's like, it would be good to know. Like,
or you're just bored.
Or you're bored, but you also, then something needs to change. Yeah. You can't just wait that out and wait for it to get exciting again. Like, I think that's just, if you're bored, I mean, I have those things too of like, this isn't a deal breaker for me, by the way. Like, if a guy's like, I'm not comfortable ever sleeping with another woman, I just only want to sleep with you, and I truly don't even like the idea that you like me hooking up with other girls, I'll go, okay, that's a kinky thing I'm into that I can probably put on the back burner. If a guy's like, I don't like anal sex and I have no desire to ever do it with you, I'll go, okay, well, that's actually something I really enjoy, and I would like maybe you to wrap your head around maybe trying to do something like that or getting into it. Or if someone's like, I don't really like kinky stuff or being like dominant in bed, those are kind of my sexual deal breakers of like, I need you to maybe get there because I enjoy that too much. But in terms of like, there's some things that you realize are more important.
If you tell a guy who's never done the whole like flirt with people and blow jobs and hand jobs, and you present this to him, there's a good bet he is going to get insecure about it because he's going to wonder why you're like that. Right. He's going to wonder.
He'll think that I want to do the same thing,
he'll
but
think
it's not a
this is
two-way
like,
street.
He'll think this is all like a plan for you
that's
to like
what they always say.
to
they
do
go,
this.
do you get to fuck other people? And I go, no, I don't want to. If I wanted to, I would tell you that, but I don't want to.
No, plus with your three things, I'm like so confused because you have like your three things. You don't want to have sex with them until you have your longevity, your
I say that because that's the book.
And then we're going to respect them because they're giving up pussy.
Yes, I understand that. That's most women.
Go get the pussy.
No. That's most women want exclusivity, commitment, and consistency. And that's what you should. That's what you should want from them. If that's what you want, those are the things you should get before you sleep with someone. And I do get those things. But once I achieve those things and I'm in a relationship, then I go. I don't, and I lead with all this. I go, once I feel secure in a relationship and have those things on lock that I know he's going to be exclusive if I want him to be, he's not going to bang people and lie about it. Exclusivity means don't bang someone and lie about it.
It's all about power and control and trust, right? It's feeling safe with someone and having the type of relationship where you can like
have pleasure. I like sex and I understand, and I am interested in maybe getting like having a not a gangbang situation, but I like multiple male partners at some point in my sex life. I would maybe like that. It's all I watch on porn. I'm just saying I've never done anything like it. But if a guy was like goes, Nikki, I would never like ever entertain the idea of like letting a guy bang you and like watching or being a part of it or something. I'd be like, okay, maybe that's something I need to like get out of the way. I like bucket list, go to like some kind of sex party and just scratch off because that is something I would like to maybe explore. Not tomorrow or not like.
There's a good bet your husband might not be into it.
Yeah, but there's also a good bet that they would be because I am.
Who knows?
I am very like well versed in this and like there's a lot of but that's also something that I might be going. Listen, I watch that stuff, but that doesn't mean I need to do it. I don't even know if I want that, but I am open about all of these things, and then you realize what's a deal breaker and what's not. For me, like someone definitely wants kids. I want to know that first date because I don't know if I want kids. And if you definitely do, that's going to be a weird thing. If you're okay with being someone who's on the fence and might want them after we fall in love, I'm your girl, but I don't know yet. So I want all those things. I just want to be honest about everything. And then I hope or honest about the fact that I don't know what the fuck I'm doing and I'm scared and I haven't had a real relationship that has felt like where I didn't feel like I was playing a role in my life. And so I'm kind of new to all of this.
What do you mean playing a role?
Playing the role of like the girl that he wants me to be and just like always just like everything's fine. And like I was so scared of rejection and the only boyfriend I ever secured that I was like, oh my God, I went after this guy so hard and I got him. And I didn't want him to ever dump me. So I just never was contentious with him. I was agreeing with everything.
Did he get bored with you?
I never fought. He got resentful of the fact that I was lying constantly because you could just sense that like, no, it's fine. Yeah, everything's fine. Like that kind of like he sensed my resentment, which I had because I couldn't actually say my resentments towards him because I was so scared that I'd be like, babe, I really don't like it when you talk to me like that. If I said that to him, I was so scared he'd be like, well, I like talking to you like that and I'm never going to change. Bye. And then, so I just never said any of those things because I was just scared.
Are you on any other dating apps other than Raya?
I'm on Bumble in St. Louis because there's no one in St. Louis. I live in St. Louis now and there's no one on Raya there. But it's not good. I'm really just looking to meet people in person because I've realized that that's how I start liking someone is I'm like, oh, I've liked people in person immediately and had chemistry with them that if I saw their profile on Raya, I would be like, ugh, I would swipe so hard my finger would like break. I would be like swipe.
Well,
I would
that's
be
why
disgusted.
Well, that's why you have to not.
I can't judge it anymore.
Yeah,
I have to watch people on TV.
It's just a way to meet people and then quickly.
But that's why I like reality show guys because
you like reality show guys.
Oh, love them because you can watch them from afar and get to know how they like talk, how they Ryan, all these apps you just go, that's the way he smiles on Mother's Day. Like I don't know, that's the way he lays with his dog on his couch in a way that's very set up. But a guy in a reality show, like I hit up there was one guy on I guess I could talk about this at this point. Jason Foster. Do you remember him on Claire's season? He was like writing out his emotions on a slab of concrete and
no,
fruit.
not the guy from the fire pit who was like putting his emotions into the thing.
Yes.
The guy
the football player?
Yeah. I thought he was so hot.
I have like a really terrible past and I'm super toxic and this is I'm a horrible person, but it's fine now because I wrote it down.
Yeah, it was unclear. Yeah.
I know. I understand that. No, he said he's been through a lot. Him and his brother have been through a lot. He cried and then he left the show because he was like, listen, he told Tayshia like I'm still in love with Claire and he had like a breakthrough. Any guy that gets emotional on a show and is like willing to be emotional and like go there. I was very horned up for this guy when I watched.
With emotion,
I think he will. I think he'll worship whoever he's with.
I think so too.
But he also has like aside that you don't
list?
want to like.
I get that, but he seemed I'm not pretending to say that he's fixed. I mean, this is the thing, Chrissy. I'm like, I don't care if these guys are fixed or not. I just want them to acknowledge they're broken, because once you acknowledge that I can't do this anymore, I need help.
Not broken. I like every damage, not broken.
I understand.
A little bit of damage.
I say broken as a as a jokey word, but like
I know, but
I acknowledge that I'm a little bit damaged.
I like people who
I'm very much damaged.
Same as you, where you meet someone and I feel more connected and closer when someone's like, this happened to me, I've done this, and and
I'm working on getting over the trauma that caused me and the way it causes me to react to my friends and family now because of this thing that happened to me when I'm 7. I'm like, that's fucking great. I'm so glad that you like finally acknowledge that. That means that you're on the path. So that guy to me seemed like someone that's going on the path.
What happened?
So I followed him, and then we started watching each other's stories, and then I think either I slid in or he slid in, and then we were texting, and it was flirty and stuff, but it's just fallen off. Like, those kind of he lives in, I forget where he lives, Charlotte or something.
He's trying to go to paradise?
Is he trying to go to paradise? I don't know. I mean, he'd be great there. I would love I
could see him doing well down there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know where to leave it though. Like, I need a guy to like be very into me and be like, I'll come see you. Like, I need a guy to put in effort, and I'm not going to be the one that's like, hey, do you want to come? Like, I want a guy to fight to be with me. So like, I'll put it out there and be like, hey, I'm interested. Hi. But if they don't pick it up, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going. It doesn't really, and I'm not like hurt that he doesn't want to drive to St. Louis in the middle of the night and bang me or whatever. Not that I would have sex with him unless he was my boyfriend or whatever, but like, you know what I'm saying? I need a guy to pursue. But that's the type of guy, like, I slid in because I like watching these shows. I always love Bachelorette season because there's more men to be like, oh, these are guys that I have a blue check mark. They can easily know that I follow them or like am liking their stuff. They'll know I exist and be like, who's this? And if they're into me, I might have a shot. It's like, it's kind of nice. Or like getting a little bit more famous. That is a nice thing because you have a chance with other like famous people that you may have a rapport with or like have grown up with their picture on your wall. Like there's people on Raya that I'm like, I matched with a guy that I was like obsessed with in high school, like a lead singer of a band that I was like, I would have done anything to have him in high school. And now I'm matching with him and it's like, well, time has changed. Yeah. Like but I have access now to people that I feel like I know because I've seen them on TV. And if it's reality TV, I do know them. I feel like I know them pretty well enough to be like, yeah, I'd bang that guy. Or like, yeah, I'd be. But I don't want to go out with a guy just from pictures on fucking Bumble or Raya. It scares me. I need to see like video evidence of you.
How much do you include your dating life in your comedy?
Oh, that's all I do. But I don't really date.
How specific? Like, do you say names? Or is it just like, I dated a guy?
I usually say, no, I do not use names. I've gotten better about that to keep it generic enough but I don't really, I think when I have enough space, like I remember not saying that guy's name when it was going on because I was like, it's too vulnerable. Now this is like a done deal. And if he slid in tomorrow, I'd be like, hey, I talked about you on Nick's podcast. Like,
well, it's fine. You're not also saying anything mean or embarrassing.
No, but yeah, I like to talk about, I don't want to do a Ben Affleck thing of like showing the things he said to me or that girl. I wouldn't reveal things about people, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty transparent on stage, especially live shows. Like I'm going on this theater tour over the summer, and I'm going to say things I know in these rooms that like I hope I won't be able to put on a special. Like I'll because my fans, I feel like I can be like, do you guys really want to know who this was? It's Nick Viall. Like there's a joke that I have that you kind of were a huge part of my act when I was taking it out last year.
That,
yeah, and it was always so fun because I go an ex-bachelor and they're like, "Hey!" and I go, "Do you think I'm gonna leave you hanging? You know I'm gonna tell you eventually. Just wait for a second." And it's so fun to get through the whole story and then go, and it was Nick Viall, and everyone's like, "Wow, my God!" Like it's just like a fun little Easter egg. So I like to give those things when the crowd is like, "Wait, she was talking to a famous person. Who was it?" And the whole time they're thinking, "Who is it?" And so it's just fun to like give them those things. But I don't think that, unless I had your permission and you saw the bit, I wouldn't put it on a special. But can I? I'll show you. I'm taping it in December, so you might be out of act by then. But because it's all based. It probably won't be because
as long as I look somewhat good and it's funny.
No, well, it's all about, we talked about this before, but it's all about the thing that I was talking about with that guy, the young kid who DM'd me on Raya of like, I thought one thing about like, I was just talking about this on on Charlene's episode, or on Charlene's podcast, about you and about talking about you on stage and stuff like that, and being, and she was like, oh, you better not let his girlfriend can't hear about that. And I was like, yes, she can. His girlfriend knows that Nick's a hot guy and that maybe a girl in the past has been sexually attracted to, like, I was into you, but now you're like now I feel so comfortable with the fact that you're my friend, and that's like a very normal boundary. And like, there's no part of me that's like trying to finagle anything with you, even though it was that way probably for like months and months of being like, could I? But now I'm just so like, you're my friend, Nick. Like, yes, your girlfriend could hear that I once wanted to have sex with you.
I mean, she thinks everyone wants to have sex with me, and I have to be like,
but is she?
Not everyone does.
But would she be like mad at if she knew in the past that I had thought you were hot and
no. That's why I'm actually surprised.
And then like we hung out.
I'm actually surprised Charlene said that, because
no, she did. She was just like, yeah, I think.
You know what I'm saying is like, I just assume everyone wants to have sex with Natalie. Right. And so whether they want to or not that's them.
But if they've said it outright, that's the thing. Like, I feel like
because
some people
they have to acknowledge it for me to be threatened.
I would tell your girlfriend that to her face. You know, like, I can't wait to meet your girlfriend because first of all, I'll like her.
Yeah.
But I would be like, oh my God, I was like into Nick, and like it was just a friend vibe, and I got friend zoned, and it was all that. Like, it would be funny to me, and I think a lot of girls wouldn't be able to handle that, and I hope that I would be able to handle that if my boyfriend was friends with a girl who definitely liked him and he never really liked her. If anything, I'd be like, good, keep hanging out. He didn't like you.
I've seen this before on TikTok. Are you on TikTok?
I try to stay off because it's like vaping. It's like it's just dangerous.
It's addicting. Where I've saw like the assumption is some women want a guy who's they think is hot, but no other women think is hot because they don't want to worry about other women. And that's
not worrying about other women.
That would back up.
Man.
That would back up Charlene's theory that she didn't think you should be able to tell Natalie. And I'm like, why? I don't understand. Like,
Natalie feels secure in your love for her and knows that nothing like it shouldn't bother you.
The whole idea is just like, well, if you have to worry about any girl who likes me, well, I think there might be a couple who like are attracted.
Of course,
you know,
there are girls that you have a girlfriend that are still going to pursue you, and she needs to know that, but also not feel threatened by it, because if she's threatened by those girls can't do anything that you can't okay, and if it comes down to you.
But you think a lot of women are like that?
I think there's so many women that I have best friends who are like the most intelligent women I know, emotionally and otherwise. And I asked my friend recently, I go, you are so jealous of other women and him possibly finding another woman, even though you're the most amazing, stunning person in the world, and he has given you no indication he's ever been interested in anyone else. I go, if I could snap my fingers right now and every woman would not be into him, and no, I go, if I could snap my fingers and he would be unattracted to every woman except you, would you take that? And she was like, in a heartbeat. And I was like, I would never do that to my man.
That's an ego thing, right?
It's insecurity.
No, it's an insecurity.
It's absolutely thinking that you're not enough and that you have to you have to put a man in jail in order to keep him. And whereas he should be free and choose to be with you.
This friend is constantly worried that at any moment someone around the corner
with the best personality, because she has like trauma, so she's beautiful and she's funny. Like she's the one I would be worried about for any one of my boyfriends to ever meet. I'm like she's actually more awesome than me, and she's pretty. But she just struggles constantly with being so scared that her boyfriend, who has shown her nothing but just solid commitment, is going to abandon her for another woman. And it's like it's a bad place to be. I feel really sad for her. And there's so many women that live in it. I'm lucky I'm not one, but I struggle in other ways with obsessing over things I can't control. You know, it's just that's something happened in those girls' life where they either got cheated on before, or a lot of times, this is more for men, but a lot of times if a man thinks you're cheating, it's because he's cheating.
Sure.
I mean, and same for women too. If they're like obsessed and constantly, it's because they're capable of doing it to you, or they are doing it to you.
Yeah, just projecting your insecurities and bullshit.
But do you get jealous?
Do I get jealous? Anyone can get jealous. I often don't get jealous because jealousy comes from being insecure.
Right.
And while I have insecurities, I'm relatively good at acknowledging them and just being upfront about them. But like everyone's capable of feeling jealous.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, it's more like, yeah, it's you feel jealousy, and then I have no problem being like, "God, that bugged me." And then I'm more curious about figuring out what bugged me, why I was bugged by it. But I'm not normally a jealous person. I'm not like I like it when, if I don't mind my girlfriend getting hit on by guys, because I get turned on by the fact that I trust her not to do anything.
Yeah.
And if I can't trust her, then I'm too exhausted to be in the relationship.
You'll get out.
Just me. But if I feel jealousy, then I try to address it, because I know there's something either that I'm insecure about, or she's doing something that makes me feel insecure, and then I try to address it.
Yeah, you're honest with it,
So
and then
like,
it doesn't like brew into something more.
Like, that bugged me that you did that.
Yeah, the one time I got jealous recently is I had just like blown a guy, and we were talking about J-Lo. Somehow we're cuddling afterwards, and J-Lo came up, and he's like, "God, I've seen her in person. She's probably the hottest person I've ever seen in my life."
Jennifer Lopez?
Yeah, and I go, "Can you not
Don't get me
say
started.
J-Lo is hot when your cum is like in my upper digestive tract? Like I just swallowed your cum, and you're telling me J-Lo is hot." And he was like, "The fact that my cum is in you doesn't change the fact that J-Lo is hot." I'm like, I understand that logic,
it's timing.
but I don't really want to hear about it right now. And by the way, cool. Like, who doesn't think J-Lo's hot? Stop saying J-Lo's hot. That is like saying the sky is blue. It's not a unique thing that, oh, you think she's the most hot woman? Oh, cool. You're interesting. I was like so annoyed. So I can get very jealous about stuff like
there's
that.
A difference
but
between,
I say it right away.
There's a difference between like knowing that your partner's attracted to people and hearing about it all the time. Like, I don't want to. I'm not a jealous guy, but if Natalie was just like, God, he's so fucking hot, I'd be like,
right after you had an intimate moment, it's like
either
bizarre.
way. I mean, like I'm fine with accepting it. I don't necessarily.
Agreed.
The fact that you need to vocalize it you had to get that out.
Absolutely. And some guys love to be like, I remember this guy. Yeah, I used to date guys all the time that would just say how hot other girls were. And I'm just like, cool. Obviously, Mila Kunis is hot. You don't need to say that every time a commercial where she's like, dry humping a casket of whiskey or whatever she was doing in that one commercial. Every time that commercial comes on, I don't need to hear you go like, oh God, she's hot. Like, cool. Yes, that's why she's on TV. She's sexually attractive. Like, stop trying. It's them trying to make it seem like it's them trying to control you. Really, it's like them trying to maybe make you feel a little insecure because they are. It's like, why say that? I think it's subconsciously a little dig.
I think sometimes guys are just dumb.
I mean, I can get on board with a girl being hot, but it's the time and the place. Like, I love when I go, babe, look at that girl's ass right now. Like, that is incredible. Like, fucking.
I don't think it's always Machiavellian. I don't think a lot of guys are smart enough to be like. I think they're just kind of dumb, and you're there, and they just want to say it.
I think it's
an
subconscious.
awkward.
They don't even know they're doing what they're doing, which is like.
Sure, but I don't know if there's some master plan.
I don't think that, but I think it's subconsciously. Like, I want to keep her a little bit like on her toes of like, I'm the way I'm feeling about this girl is too intense, and I need to like keep it so like, I like other girls.
I guess it's possible.
I think it's
I haven't felt that way.
These are just the certain circumstances where I'm like, that was just ill-timed in such a, like, I just blew you, and you're telling me J-Lo's hot. Like, to me, that was about like, that didn't mean much to me. I'm just gonna deflect. Like, I'm not gonna this moment where we're cuddling after we just had a sexual encounter. This is too intense. So J-Lo's hot. Like, it's just a way to like push me away a little bit. I just think maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe.
I mean, I could be wrong about all of this. Please don't DM me how wrong I am. I'm really sorry. I'm not a scientist. I'm just a comedian with like, a lot of trauma.
Nikki, thanks so much for coming.
Nick, always a pleasure.
Let people know where they can follow you, and you will be touring soon.
Yeah, I'm on tour, nikkiglaser.com/tour, like 40 cities going all year until like January. And then I have a podcast called the Nikki Glaser Podcast that is every day, Monday through Thursday. And you can, with iHeartRadio, and hosting you just Instagram. There's other stuff too. Just Nikki Glaser on Instagram, NIKKIGLASER.
Great. Thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget to send in your questions at asknick@castmedia.com, cast with a K, castmedia.com. I was kind of mumbling. Send in your 5-star reviews, and we will see you back on Monday.
You're crazy.
Bye.